The Man Who Hated Christmas. This story made its original debut in the 1982 Women's Day December magazine and was written by Nancy W. Gavin. It's told from the perspective of a wife regarding her husband who hated Christmas. Well, he didn't hate the true meaning of Christmas, but he had become very disenchanted by all the greed surrounding a holiday that should have been centered on something so much more valuable. This particular year, he had made an announcement to his family that he would not be receiving any gifts. He did not want any part of the required gift giving that seemed to consume people around this holiday. And so his family chose to honor this request. Close to this time of year, Christmas season, his 12-year-old son Kevin had a wrestling match at his school. He and his wife went to attend this wrestling event, and as they pulled into the school, they noticed the other team was also arriving, and this team came from the inner city. And as they piled off the bus, it was clear that these boys did not have the equipment or the types of facilities to train in that their son Kevin's team had. And as the wrestling matches wore on one by one, their son's team dominated every single match. The boys from the opposing team didn't have wrestling uniforms, they didn't have headgear, and even though they carried this tough inner city strength, they did not have the technique or skills to even win one match. Mike, the husband, by the way, leaned over to his wife and mentioned it would just be nice if they could have won at least one match. But they didn't. And they went home happy for the victory, but just feeling a little off of how lopsided the entire event had been. In that moment, his wife realized she was going to give her husband a gift, and she was pretty sure he was going to like it. The next day, she went to the sporting goods store, and she was able to put together a collection of wrestling shoes, wrestling uniforms, and headgear to have sent to this inner city school. She went home and she wrote about it so that she could explain all that she had done on behalf of her husband, put it in an envelope, and on Christmas Eve, she stuck that envelope deep into the branches, peeking through. On Christmas morning, the family opened all of their gifts, and of course everybody enjoyed the things they had received, and at the conclusion of the gift giving, she reached into the tree and pulled out the envelope and said that she had gotten him a gift. And he was a little resistant, but as he opened the envelope and read what had been done as her gift to him, he had a change of heart, and he graciously accepted this gift, and his wife looked forward to doing more of the same. And as the years wore on, this became a tradition, one that the whole family looked forward to. On one occasion, the family was able to send some special needs children to a hockey game. Another year, she put together some things for some elderly brothers whose home had burned to the ground shortly before the holiday season. And true to the tradition she had created, she would write the experiences down, place them in a white envelope, and put the envelope on the tree, in the tree on Christmas Eve. And the family, even more so than opening their gifts, would look forward to reading what had happened, what had been done for their mother's gift to their father. Well, unfortunately, Mike actually passed away from cancer, and he was not an old man. He was still a younger man. His children were at least teenagers at this point. And the Christmas that rolled around after Mike had gone, his wife knew what she was going to do, and she was going to continue to honor the tradition of putting the white envelope in the tree on Christmas Eve. But you can imagine the joy and the wonderful feeling that came over her as she found that her envelope joined 3 other envelopes, as her children had also decided that their father understood what Christmas was about, and they too wanted to be a part of this tradition of focusing on serving others around the holidays. And as the years would wear on, the anticipation of more and more white envelopes filling the Christmas tree was what she could envision. And it was a beautiful thing to comfort the family that first Christmas without their father. I shared this story with you. Christmas was a few days ago, or perhaps you'll be watching this sometime when Christmas is approaching. But I think whether we're bringing in the Christmas season or we're looking into the new year, that as we have eyes that look past ourselves for opportunities to serve, then we truly will grasp what we can do with our energies and how we can find peace in this world and bring it to other people. It's a great way to it's a great distraction from maybe some of the troubles we're dealing with as we find opportunities to serve others.